Okay, abusua ba mu akwaba sonko so ereba POG Media so. Abusua yembonra yensem no. John Dramani Mahama a strike hard on minority in Parliamentary enye asem keto akra after say a release letter the suspend Chief Justice Tokorno abusua minority NPP minority afenyo markings eja ono ena leader o lead gang no a washa ase nano esi John Dramani Mahama ne suspension to Chief Justice Tokorno Emma John Dramani Mahama ebufu na Mahama say ono no ode embra ena juma Chief Justice Tokorno no ombro embre biaso nti se omhwe na se omonte ase omo ba power ono John Dramani Mahama no oyi Chief Justice a ode mbra na ye adwuma omo so ba power omo fa mbra enyi sa Chief Justice no obeyi no se sa Chief Justice no bone a abusua na John Dramani Mahama kasa no afenyo markings no wa silence no ache ni mu se Chief Justice no ombro embre bia so Ghana ha entinde omo ye no ono no onhu na Charlotte Osei time a NPP wo power no ye file petitions against Charlotte Osei na NPP mpo wo power no na Addo Akuffo Addo ama Charlotte Osei fair hearing na ono John Dramani Mahama no oma Chief Justice Tokorno fair hearing Tokorno eka say nka John Dramani Mahama emma 7 days but John Dramani Mahama edwene no no oma no 10 good days ama eso ye kura no Mahama ne kura na ye hu nioma a oye intabusia John Dramani Mahama ba bonten ede minority afenyo markets ne nkofo ede omo aba betuto omo level omo se NDC no omo ene yes omo na trust 1992 constitution no enti embre bia wo mu bia no omo di su mako tebusuya Chief Justice Tokorno de asem ato ne papa Kevin Taylor aba be true hot fire on NPP minority momi enko na yenko nkotie medamase
straight to CJ asem no so na yendwudwam ema Ghana for ehu no kure no. It's exactly 6:20 p.m. US East Coast time. Me sure say Ghana about 10:20. Now, momenya butre na yenka asem we. And it's got to do with Osono Mame Chief Justice Madam Tokorno. Now Madam Tokorno and the asema beda ho nyina na kire say the president petition ebeka nsa miensa Ghana mrano kire say e se odi hu dwuma. Now petition beka president nsa no and the petition no sebio obo Ghana fo nyina obo ya mane say on the president petition bia beka nsa na emom emra kire say enyo no nkwa na hu nyansa ode bu Ghana man petition for Chief Justice ho inti ode koma Council of State ema Council of State for so aba emu hwe de wom na emom de wom no omu ni sengina so bia wo so a na de wo so mo ye no maye emu ana Chief Justice Babo ntin beka kire Ghana fo nyina say what is the president wo petition bi na efa no ho inti o insist president ever petition man no so nkan na president emma no edien endankwanso 7 days na onkan sa some by na president yamum if the president expect to say the Chief Justice will go public. He was expecting the Chief Justice to contact him quietly, directly, professionally, respectfully, nicely, and to demand for petitions, for her to also look at the petition. Now, Chief Justice Eddie letter beto abontinema NPP platforms to say, or per se a good president anima say, money looking like he said, President Ewan who adwene bone. Into or the letter beto abontine. And I'll catch the Ghana for say, I am at a petition about president to her. Now, my best president to the mammy, I'm so me kind, now me share as sama ya ketiame, me we yano and me, and a president can say, letter me beto abontine catch a Ghana for some saka petition me de come a year Council of State no. Na enchre say, me so me mbo won kaye, President Kacha Chief Justice say, some the letter be trouble until some the Common Council of State. And just say, wow, we Chief Justice as some the far hono, and yadia me you are sutri. It the president can say, okay, so person who a petition na, me the bema hon, emom open 7 days, and no crown is sa. President said the 3 days can home and be 10 days. Wait, just another president, a person, my Chief Justice. Akwenye biya wo wiase biya maninya emre ready to understand and to answer a petitions or questions. If the president was a bad man, if the president was eager to kick out the Chief Justice, and Kobeka said ubusa for 7 days, 7 days, but the president said no. Even though you asked for 7 days, it will be unfair for you to use 7 days to read all these documents. As the president, I am giving you Osnomame 10 days. And a President Mahama, a time 10 days, and the Chief Justice said, petition in a kind. Take your time and read and respond whatever is in it. One, and we should tell you how the president wants the Chief Justice to clear herself. The president gave the Chief Justice a lot of room, time to take her time to answer every single allegation. You will ask for 7 days, you mouth 10 days. Or responding after 10 days, na Chief Justice President can say, Emrani Shan say, and now Emrani Chile say, the Council of State, Sebio, and yet wo, and any question them quote Council of State. Yet to woman in our swaba, and ye kakrebi council, Sa Council of State, no, Ghana for the yen ya ko twaba ni ye omo. Enti every regime biya to abani yi mu nipa se monko na monko Council of State sebio enyansafo a ade bi chire president adwene so a obetumi mu esusu ho advisory body a mo betumi tu president fo. Enti eke Council of State a even technically no Council of State no omo wo tumi krampo chair parliament. If we say they can influence the president when it comes to decision he would take. President, or to me say, or take a decision from an executive order. But the Council of State can actually sit the president down and advise the president and say, Mr. President, where the woman dear, name yana Ghana for to a swaba, ya nyansemuno, ya over 30, you wouldn't say, oh, yen say yana ye. It's in the Council of State, they yield a lot of power. President na etam kratane de ma Council of State say, musumu nhwem. Say Chief Justice no, ni yi ano ne nsem ode aba no se e onjina so a mombetumi fo wo ho na menhu de meye. One, the first question every intelligent journalist will ask, because I sitting here, I have not seen the petition. Every single journalist, as far as I know, nobody has seen the petition. Almost no, they know where they saw the petition. Mempe problem in menka. And I believe say about 99.99% of journalists in Ghana, they have not seen the petition. So basically, we are working with what the Council of State and the President will tell us in the petition. Because the petition exclusively, the Chief Justice, the Council of State, and the President petition. It as I sit here, I cannot speak to the allegation. I can only speak to the process. President na ye no. Odi mraso. Time and in sabeka allegations. That is the first question every intelligent journalist will ask. Because Senator Obama president and I'm president, I expect the president to follow the rules, the procedure. The president should go by some rules and regulations. The moment the president steps out of Emrana Eshadmani de Jumano, then he is not a democratically elected president. He now becomes a tyrant or a dictator. So, as a journalist, I am looking at the actions of the president. Is he working or acting within the Constitution? Is he overstepping? Is he abusing the Constitution? But to date, who will be our Ghana will be an president of the Republic. Time and in second petition he has abused or stepped out of the Constitution to take decisions that are against is against the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. I am yet to hear one person tell me say the president of the Republic has gone against the Constitution of Ghana. Because when the president goes against the Constitution, it gives me the right to question or attack the president for him to understand, say, we gave him power to work within laws. Now, the moment a president free constitution, then it means the president is basically respecting us. The president is respecting the constitution, and the president wants transparency, accountability at the end of the day to be the hallmark of his governance. And see, so far so good. Me who's gonna be a Gina baby from political elites to religious leaders to the traditional leaders to read the so-called ordinary Ghanaians. Me who's so be a Gina TV so I can say President John Dramani Mahama will book Ghana Mraso IABB from the day and in Saka a petition. Now, there are some few questions we need to ask before we move forward. I'm a journalist, I'm a Ghanaian, and I have to be reasonable enough. Sanka Madam Tokorno ya me maamia, I would have been asking questions. So Madam Tokorno ya me yira, with all due respect. So I would be asking questions because it's very important that I ask questions and demand reasonable answers that will make me satisfied. Because when I ask the questions and I don't get those reasonable answers, then it means my family member, my auntie, my mom, or whoever is being basically accused of something, no, it means that person is being treated unfairly. And I don't want anybody to be treated unfairly. As much as we have our political affiliations and the way we understand things and our limitations, you know, we also need to understand, say, emra. So, it does not matter whether you're a president or you're a chief of staff. So, who will be kitchen now? Could bona suma or say mran chow. If you say I am right, daho edisa or yes sir. So, don't say ko bo abansikem nasa wudia Ghana mra or say chow. Say your mouth to me. It does not respect. It does not matter whether you are the head of a department, you are the subordinate of the head, you are the chairman of a committee or a commission. As far as emra hono, so boom mran swa. Your constitution is say I was set emrano and woody. That is what the basic law our constitution eka. So when you would say the constitution is not selective when it comes to application of the law. Now there's something I want you to know. Question I better say. Petitioners now petition the president, you know. Has it been established anywhere in Ghana today, say they belong to a political party or card-bearing members of NDC? Till date, I am yet to hear say the people who petitioned the president are full NDC people. Ever seen there, Yentumi establishes our facts, you know. That is one. Now, was the CJ given fair hearing? Was the CJ given enough time to look at the petition? Did the president do that? Two, the president did that. The CJ was given enough time. In fact, she was asking for 7 days. The president gave him 10 days, meaning fairly, the CJ has been treated well. The Obusa and the Krampono, president no Edibia Kaum. So, is the president still in the constitution? Is he working within the constitution? Has he done anything wrong? No. To me, and to you, the ordinary Ghanaian or rational Ghanaian watching me, you know, these two things, you know, there's nothing showing, say, petitioners no NDC for. And secondly, there's nothing showing, say, the Chief Justice was denied the access to the petition. Remember, time and day, Charlotte say, Charlotte say, in her right, she was demanding for the petition. Nana Akuffo and this same NPP and these same some journalists in Ghana said there was nothing wrong with the president denying Charlotte say of the petition. Charlotte say was like, a man for trying your mouth who say you made me person who do your matrena. Nana Akuffo say she cannot have access to the petition. But John Mahama has given the Chief Justice, who was demanding for 7 days to review the petition, John Mahama gave the Chief Justice 10 days. Did the Chief Justice exhaust the 10 days? Yes. Now, did the president follow due process? Did he work or did he basically perform his constitutional duty? Yes or no? Yes. When the president received the petition, did he take the steps that the constitution was demanding of him? Yes. So did he work or did he basically perform his constitutional right? Yes. So who is saying the president has done something wrong? At this point, nobody can blame the president for doing anything wrong, because the questions I'm asking, no, nobody can come out and say that the president did not work within the constitutional rights. We are talking about, is the CJ guilty of a crime? The question is she guilty? At this point, nobody has said that CJ is guilty of a crime. But when you hear the NPP followers, the NPP minority, the so-called the Ghana journalists, they are making it sound. Because I have not said in anywhere, any of my commentaries said the Chief Justice of Ghana is guilty of any crime. The NPP on the other side, or on the other hand, are making it look like say the Chief Justice is guilty of a crime. As we speak, no crime has been committed by the Chief Justice as far as this process is known. The Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, Madam Tokorno, Emrebia ni Ghana actually say we di bone. I was say yetina Ghana kasa we di bone or Akroma. Ya establish Emrebia. Bibia ni wa ya establish sebio se obi ohene sebio manisi sumina so obi a chiame na owo edien menhia na abayo bi baba kasa oh nana otumfo wo chiame we ordinance akekame na otumfo tenase na ono ahwe eye gidia owo wo chiame nim se na chiame na aconduct no ho na ohwe chiame no dwumadi a wadi a otumfo se tutuntumi sori nka se o chiame we metu ne to otumfo ntumi sori nka se because abayo nbeka se me chiame de nsa akekame nti no mompam no nkobo no otumfo se tutu be frem penifo mo ahemfie na o madwene asem no ho omu wi ombeka se okay nana chiame abayo na asem na wabeka no sebio ye ntumi ntina ase hu se enokura na nye nokure sebio akweside eba so obi be hu se ugina me nkyɛn na okutapoma na me kasa na wo kyekire mu a because asem no yen kan to ase hu se wo ye anase wanye no nana chiame we de esrew anka ma nipa na odi wechi ye ochiame keto no onu mom enkasa sene ebe ya yetumi eka asem no ma ni kosi emupi ni ehu se wo son a obetumi abedi uchiame. That is exactly what is playing out here. Enti nana chiame no obi nka se asem na abayo an keto no so no waye ana onyeye na otumfo se tutum pese obi betra badwom aka se na ohene kase we na ochiame ya de asamato no so a yehu se odifo ana odibem no otumfo se tutu enema ochiame we gina de ti into otumfo se tutu beka se nana chiame mesrawo o de tena fie man chiame nketo ba ko ne menko na asem no ye ba ne ye kan ye tu ase ahwehwem wie na se ohuson a akweside eba no na wa bedi udrabre why na aka se ochiame ne di bone. And this is basically what is playing out in the CJ matter. As we sit here, I cannot say Madam Tokorno has committed a crime. When the Betman establishes a committed crime, what the Council of State establishing is say, yeah, they are same to CJ so. Omu domu ni say sema I was see a domu score. Na ye be a ye bien hwehwemu intinka be ya anka Chief Justice no sebio Mr. President dia ye hunu die ye be ya anka Chief Justice na anka ontwe no kakra na ye nhwehwe nsem num ye kohwehwem na se ne ho son a onsan be the Chief Justice. That is the issue here. Ye kuni power Ghana. Why na ye this can won minimum? This is basic. This is the most easiest thing any simple reasonable intelligent Ghanaian own Jimmy also what tiasie. Inti adena bruhaha adentina minority kasa se obi apam Chief Justice obi politics John Mahama or motive be why is any obi onim nyansa own Jimmy no why would we conclude because say NPP conclude this Mahama apam Chief Justice then it means say they know say the Chief Justice at the end of the day will be guilty of a crime. Me I cannot pronounce that the Chief Justice is guilty because no investigation has been conducted. But John Mahama himself, Chief Justice in a position or no, a very sensitive position. A position it will be so bad for people to be pointing fingers at her when she has not been cleared of an allegation. John Mahama believes to say, or no Chief Justice no hono, the position in position be a it will be very unfair. Say John Mahama, I'm a Chief Justice at Naho, na investigations the coso, na Chief Justice at the court, DSM, na majority of the people in court, no, in their head, no, they think the Chief Justice has committed a crime that has not been investigated. It is John Mahama as the president, no, the advice he's giving the Chief Justice is to protect your integrity and protect the office you are. No, step aside. Let somebody who can also take over from you sit in when investigations. No, say investigations in India, Madam Tokorno, you can come back and occupy your seat. Who in Ghana have said Chief Justice has committed a crime? Why not? What Ghana and Eka said the Chief Justice has committed a crime. And they said, Unimibi. So when we say NPP for the day, and the matter said journalists for be minorities no Eka sa NPP for one Eka say John Mahama time Chief Justice. Why? How? Aya then na John Mahama time Chief Justice. Now dear you say you expect journalists. You expect nipebia. Ogi so my dream do. Now the question I want to ask and say, is Madam Tokorno Osonomame above the law in Ghana? Who is above the law in Ghana? Madam Tokorno's position is a political position. She was appointed by a politician. Whether you like it or not, the position she's filling is a political position. And at the end of the day, it is only a politician who has the right to open investigations into Madam Tokorno or whoever occupies that CJ position. So at this point, the question here is, Madam Tokorno, is she above the law? Because we are talking about the three arms of government. There is the judiciary, which is led by Madam Tokorno, the legislature, led by Alban Bagbin, and the executive, led by the President of the Republic, John Mahama. Now the question here is, all these people are mentioned, are they above the law? When a petition is brought against them, are they so above the law that they cannot be questioned? No. It does not matter who you are. The President of the Republic can be impeached. So if the President can be impeached, why can't we basically look into an allegation or allegations or a petition that has been brought against the Chief Justice? Unless you are trying to make it look like, say, the Chief Justice who is being questioned, the Chief Justice who is being helped by the President by protecting her integrity, unless who was some political idea be a person will say Ghana for agony. Now, matter say NPP for kakaka. Nana B, after marking NPP for the opportunity be at TV so. I mu Chief Justice in the say NPP but power. Yes, so me see. And you see, this needs to go into the head of the NPP. Mobile power. Whoever is the Chief Justice, mopamono. The law is the law. Me akwamiti. If the next Chief Justice to replace or the person to act, say, Madam Way, you are suspended, whoever is going to act, Mr. Bafuboni, if he also goes against the law and a petition has to be raised against him, why don't we have to support it? It is a NPP for you say. Mokache Ghana for say, ye Madam Tokorno or ye NPP ni ye penasem Akuffo na deba enti modia montwen power sesa yes you be change whoever is there as far as you have grounds, as far as the person has committed a crime, as far as the process is being followed, I have no problem. It may be somewhere NPP for go around the country and tell Ghana for say Mosumunya to me, I'm a Chief Justice. Monfanya campaign message. I want you to do that. Maybe say, how Ghanaians will accept that message. Maybe say, MPP for go to market, go to Ghanaians and tell Ghana for say, and the process now cost no money. My dream no moon say, John Mahama na pese oyi Chief Justice no into musumu we need power. Mube yi Chief Justice bi amabeto no. Monfa sade no campaign message na monhwe say Ghana for will buy it. And I want you people to use that as your message. Nobody is going to pamper anybody. So over power 2028, 2042, 2078. Now we change Chief Justice. As far as it's built on solid grounds, why should anybody contest you? Because from what I am seeing, the president has not gone against the law. He is still working within the law. The president has not basically been biased towards the Chief Justice. In fact, the Chief Justice demanded for only 7 days. The President of the Republic gave the Chief Justice 10 days. Now, when Charlotte Osei was being, when a petition was sent to the president to basically look into Charlotte Osei and possibly make sure he follows due process. What did we say in Ghana? Now do you know, say, a position like the EC boss in Ghana is not a small position. Time the petition, Akroma Akuffo Addo or deny Charlotte say access to the petition. No? At that point, it was the first time anything like that had happened in Ghana. Time I the petition come Akuffo Addo na EBS say your petition president say yenhwehwe eye EC boss in Semuda. Akuffo Addo did not give Charlotte say the opportunity to even look at what is in the petition. No? But you people did not see anything wrong. Say our democracy is going to go into the ditch. The EC boss, she is in charge of our elections. That was the first time in the history of Ghana, Obia petitioned the president to look into the conduct of the EC boss. Yanti Kromha, the first time in the history of Ghana, Bawumia Akuffo Addo and the Ghana election court did our democracy collapse. In fact, the argument people made then was that Nana Addo Akuffo Addo going to court in 2012 was a good sign. It was going to basically enrich our democratic dispensation. And yes, we had not seen that in our history before. Nobody had taken an election to court. But when Akuffo Addo and Bawumia entered court in 2012, in the Supreme Court, majority of you people today criticizing today, people petitioning against the Chief Justice, you said that was good for our that was good for our democracy, and that we needed to test our democracy. That was the first time in our history. Did this country collapse? Did somebody say because an opposition party had taken a party to court, it was going to destroy our democracy, and we were never going to have a diligent or a better election again? Mukache said 2012 elections the court and then etimi hold the democracy, hold the elections, and then I make it good changes to our electoral process. Ever seen there? Is it not that whether or not the words used? Into a day and ended there. Madam Tokorno, in the history of our republic, petition has been brought to the president. Now we'll follow due process. A day and ended the Mukase. Due process now president no. It is the beginning of the end of our democracy. This was when Charlotte Osei was in office. Akuffo at the time. Yeah.
The President Akuffo Addo has referred a petition signed by 17 persons seeking to impeach the chairperson of the Electoral Commission to the Chief Justice for resolution. According to the Director of Communication at the Flagstaff House, Mr. Eugene Ahin, this is in accordance with the provisions of Article 146, Paragraph 3 of the Constitution.
Around 12 o'clock this afternoon, the President referred the petition that had been brought to him by the concerned staff of the Electoral Commission, who are demanding for the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Madam Charlotte Osei, to the Chief Justice. Now, you know this matter is purely a constitutional one, so in accordance with Article 146(3) of the Constitution, when such a matter is brought before the President, i.e. with regards to the removal of a Justice of the Superior Court or the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, the President has no choice but to forward the petition to the Chief Justice, who would, if she decides there's a prima facie case against the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, is supposed to form a committee who would also look into the matter, make recommendations to her, and then subsequently the Chief Justice forwards those recommendations to the President for action. There are names attached. Initially, when the petition was brought, it was, as I said in my statement, it was signed and it was undated, and the names of the petitioners were not present. But I think on the 20th of July, the counsel for the petitioners furnished the presidency with the names of 17 people who have petitioned for the removal of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission.
This is Eugene Ahin. Akuffo Addo power now. 17 people petitioned Akuffo Addo. 17. Petition confess they didn't come. It was a vague document, but the presidency accepted it. It was later the presidency realized, say, petition Abeka president inside. Omo petitioners didn't come. And the president can say, Omo paper Tony Bremeno, Omo form din samra. How foolish can we be? We soaked this. Mo radio TV so them went to man can say that was the beginning of a skewed process. How can you write a petition to the president without any name, but the president actually accepted and gave you receipts? How can the presidency accept a petition without name, without date, and give you receipt and say, yes, I'm going to give it to the president? How? But in this, 17 people petitioning the president without name and dates, without information, the president said, he has accepted it and he was going to take action. It was later, and a NIPA 17 lawyers say, oh, if you are Simesi, and you are Simesi, and oh, where we the buyer. That petition against Charlotte say was written at the Jubilee House and the Akuffo Addo. After the seriousness of our hypocrisy. And Conformity Radio TV so trying to make you think say they are the ones with all the knowledge. Now we are exposing their stupid hypocrisy. The President of the Republic from day one received this document, knew the people who wrote the document, never hid it, gave it to the Council of State, and even gave it to the Chief Justice. Still, you people are sitting there telling us, and all these things happening, no? Radio, journalists, so-called journalists, they were on radio. They were there. They were part of the conversation. They knew a petition had been given to Akuffo Addo. Akuffo Addo did not give it to Charlotte Osei to look at it. Akuffo Addo went ahead to execute whatever he wanted to execute. Akuffo Addo worked against the constitution. All these so-called journalists in Ghana were on radio. They read everything. They knew the petition that went to Akuffo Addo against Charlotte Osei did not have names with it. But the presidency accepted the vague paper. These same people today, they have not been able to establish, say, John Mahama, the president of the republic, he has gone against the law once. No. These so-called journalists on the TV soon himself, President Edim Ranoso, Atumimpo Ama Chief Justice 10 days, Abrado Obuta 7 days. These people sitting on radio calling themselves journalists. Omunim said, President Mahama or Aya Council of State, free hand to do their job. These people know, said the president of the republic, when boom rebia so. Entire day na sanko for to be radio so to speak, say the actions na who process na fluid, you know. How can they sit on radio today to tell Ghana for say we are doing something that will destroy our democracy and that what is happening, you know, a deliberate, a Jubilee House, a president, you know, then a journalist is at radio so kasa asamono. Ethiopian can will minimum. For a journalist to sit on TV or radio to make that statement, that journalist is an enemy of the state. Those are the people who cause tribal war. They cause a political war in the nation. Because what they are doing is they are putting a lot of fire where there should be no fire. They are preparing the people's mind. Say, the actions are President Netekia within his constitutional mandate, you know, they are trying to skew that process. They are trying to create an impression, say, the president is doing something bad. Whilst they know for a fact, none of them can sit on TV or radio to tell you Ghanaians, say, President John Mahama has gone against the law. Nobody to date, no journalist to date has been able to say, President went against the law. And this is what these journalists are saying.
I feel say we've still not understood what we are doing to ourselves as a country.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know, but it's so funny. The next Chief Justice. Clearly will be. But that was almost important. So what is news about this? Says we've gone through the law. It is the same. We present my Ghana for United Sa positions are doing in our Merakuni Bobino. A twitcha, if we say, a band be or bebe biano, Obinia Bibi, Ejinaso, Edia Pam Sa positions now, and Mabo Bangina. I will not be surprised when the Electoral Commission goes. And then their next action. Of course, it will be a functioning team. We are practicing a dysfunctional democracy.
It is it is not all opposition.
Of course,
every position has become a political.
But we are firming it up. It is Obia from Tunasum say, "Oh, Abedjum, you be a free revocation termination. 10 years. Would you do film or you do me? I buy me the bar. Or also be pam.
And for only position now.
It doesn't matter.
Every position is now a position.
What we are telling ourselves. Let's say, a co-terminus,
with the term of the president.
Simple. I think it will be better for us to do those arrangements now.
No, because
because they say NDC crowd will in the next 12 years. It's not possible. We are deepening the dysfunctionality of our democracy.
And the hatred.
Yes, hatred and bitterness is building. Also, the culture say, if we really want to reset, everybody the alliance minister to Okusuye Kokore Johnson. Say Oko Galamse, which Yankasi to Galamse, or party chairman Ankasa Krano, Kose Ebaho, Soja for Bahono, or Mamona Mania, and baby Ukusu, or press conference.
So it's soon.
Stop that.
It's soon basis.
Oh, please stop it. There. And I'm saying that stop it. The sooner I solve.
No, say based on the video he saw. Now, and
I'm saying that, but even amongst the solutions, now go for river guy yellow. What can they do? Job for the boys. What is this, Obi? We have started on a good note. I'm saying that when we are deepening our democracy, making it very dysfunctional, I'll show you where power lies. I'll tell you that I have power. Let's keep it up. Nobody should even raise because of him.
Position.
No, of course. The constitution. Okay, Nasi Akuffo Emrakwanz. Yeah, you be this one. Obia be this pepe. O mine bebo. Obia be this pepe. O mine a bebo. If you the moment man yourself, Uncle Sun Chiche Musa no cre. Such as Uncle Segatem. Because any time you raise issues, the matter is equalization.
Yeah.
Where also yebi. I know the one can read here. Where so abaso yebi. I know coming come here. They said you call a concession is NDC for your board. Because say more NPP time now no mudia. Omukasai. Yes, you do Pamfanko Hig. Mofanko Jo Mahama Osebi. In those videos we have it.
Yeah.
So what is it that we want to do to this country again? What is it that we want to do to this country again? I'm not in for political tricks again. Bobby, say tie piano, say empuli breaks are. Na baby akika kono. Hey, me kai o me say, na ntwe na yin ni podua no. Anka ne to. Na ntwe podua no. Anka ne to. It is anka ne to dia.
Now you ask yourself, the point in this saying, at this point now, we should not go by the constitution to do what is right. That is his argument. Even though because of the position in T, because the moment we go by the constitution, and I yedem rani yejuma, na yedibedi nipa. The moment we do that, we are doing politics. You see his level of thinking. So, from his argument, right now, if we use the constitution, President Jina Constitution, so na odidi juma, it is not right. Inti sesiano, I was say NDC for TSC, ye NPP, ye Chief Justice, must suspend no. Into Musufra Bemnam and call for bar, yet into a minor bo. You see their level of thinking, the sense of entitlement. You see the sense of entitlement amongst these stupid fools, and then a problem. You are a journalist. Your job is let Ghanaians know, because at the end of the day, your opinion and my opinion, the constitution's fact and end to Mr. Sano. You might have your opinion because of your political or tribal affiliation. I might have my opinion because of my political or tribal affiliation or religious affiliation. But the Constitution, what it says is constant. It does not change. What has the president done today that we, because the Constitution, a petition by Mahama Horo, and called the petition and one consult to be able to take a decision, and can pray Kumba with Baba say, aha. And then the moment President Makofaba, Onim Ranaso. Mahama nya petition, one fan Chirobia, or then they share them and we take a decision. The president is following the constitution, He's working within his constitutional mandate. And also, Balu will have say, I will be somewhere almost in the constitution. So what should we do? All that they are trying to do is say, I don't know what this side your party. Masa, so be any munko for we. Now this is the first time we say, which political party communicators are these? Because this, what they are doing there, there's nothing about being a journalist who is being neutrally intelligent to look at the issues. Because what Juman is saying, Balloon, what Juman is saying, Asemna Bedahono, Asemno, Emra Eshe Ghana, constitutional Eshe Ghana, no, ye di Samrano so. Because who Balloon ya would say Asempa, only Jimmy. So be Bora a Asempa Sisia. Nasa Nipano S or your police ni, was so pa at the Wokwa. Obega Chedipan say, Ghana Mracha said warrant, and I'm a boy. Now, so police in the warrant, sorry, not a chrow. Now, sad Oka, Obega the police in Sibia Yatin Kamno, Sabio or Frafreni into our idea be or Taya Santinito or Chimako. Now, you forget about a warrant, that gives the police, that allows the police, to arrest you ignore the warrant, Now, you are going to look at police, your friend was saying, Atinga, hey, we are turning to now, what's on the pasana. That is what these balloons are doing. Now you cannot apply the constitution because the constitution at this point is what the government is applying. Sabai Sisa in 8 years. Now so be a commissioner, or be a CEO, or be a Supreme Court judge. That's the constitution finding the panel said, why Bonia? Why should it be applied? Why should I sit here and have a problem with that balloon? The issue here is if you have accepted that the president did not go against the constitution, he actually acted in his capacity as a president and also in the mandate constitution manner. If you admit that the president has done it, why are you now forcing people to say he has committed a crime? You see, the issue with this both fruit for them say, when they sit on radio, Obi or one of the most diabolic journalists in Ghana, Ope Christonia or your true for Obi. Kwasi ampenyi san ope MPI na mesi sankofo yete krom ha se mubenya MPI mubewra parliament eche twa ye neti. I swear to God, demonic diabolic old men to someone kokora to someone Obi manyini chen. I am older than Obi, yeah, but me when I feel say I'm still young when we adwene bone ni jimi any politics na you say Obi me I am older than Obi. You have no idea, but me ni Obi jina waka say me wo fa no. These are people every single day they sit on radio. Now me Jane say, opportunity to speak, and come on back say, John Dramani Mahama the president will book Ghana Mraso and the wire the. But they could not say that. And in the first place, I want to ask Bofruit on the Adrimbone say, do you know what is in the petition? Bofruit, do you know what is in the petition? No. When the Council of State echo share and nipa over 31, over such terms, Chief Justice, are you stupid? What makes you people think so? Some TV so eka Ghana amanyosem. Do you know what is in the petition? It is a petition ba na eka say Chief Justice Traobitia. What are you going to say? Petition ba na eka Chief Justice Edi Boni way with evidence. What are you dirty idiot stinking boxers going to say? Because you don't know what's in the petition. The Council of State, when they looked at the petition, and I don't think every single member of the Council of State is against the Chief Justice. So the issue here is everything that we are seeing is based on what is in the petition. Now, do you know what is in the petition? No. Have you been able to make a comment that there's this in the petition that does not have the grounds? And I say, any grounds or say the Chief Justice, do you have? No. Has the president gone against the law? No. So what is making you, this Beaufort entity, sit there to speak stupidly because politics are full. Journalism has become cheap. Jimmy, when I'm say Ghana no. Now the issue is simple. So I is 4 years, 8 years. Nasa Obi and conducting whether Chief Justice, whether the President, whether the CEO, whatever, and we get to know say nipa and conducting ye and nitini yashemra. Motia sempa mo monsa wo ma obatu no. Semra di mu ebe yumadi. Senia eye abrantia no host show yi Mofa kwansu kuna mo betenatena ho edidi ma we yiase no se be chimo a na ekọ evidence ni ebehu se munyina mo nsa wo mu a we will make sure say kabawo no wuye no munyina no mubedam nti as far as any evidence we cannot sit here and say you are murderers. No, we cannot say that. Inti ayeden on basis be na mugina so amoka kire Ghana for say ai na de edine de esia no obia ne president beko enti esia no de omo ye no eyomo plan dada and he used a stupid statement. We are practicing a dysfunctional democracy kwasia. What you say? You the same person sitting there and telling us the president has followed due process, and you are stupidly saying in your next language, you say we are practicing a dysfunctional democracy. Do you know what dysfunctional democracy is? Dysfunctional democracy is when you're small dick, you cannot see it because your tummy is big. That is dysfunctional democracy. When your small dick hanging beneath your belly, when you bend down, you cannot see it. We call it dysfunctional democracy because they cannot coordinate. Jimmy, and you people sit on TV, multi radio, so and you are the people polluting the system. I thought you had solid evidence against the president, his actions. I thought you had solid evidence and what petition you can base your facts on. So basically, what you are doing, only question penny, bi and a stray dog be on in New York, and then I'm ball so you are the same. You are like a stray dog walking on the streets of Bronx, a stray dog with a dirty stinking mouth, with a mouth like Yania Gunenum, like you are like a stray dog who does not have an address. You have no basis. You have no facts. You have nothing to base your statement on. It's what you say, "Krama bodam for," because when you walk around and you speak anyhow without basis of fact, what you say, "Krama bodam for." What are your evidence? Before I insult Akuffo, I show you basis. Before I go after Chairman to me, I show you the fact. I just don't sit here and say Chairman to me. It will make me because my evidence and show. The moment I come sit here without showing facts, the reason why I'm insulting somebody, then at that point, you are a dog. You are a stray dog. You are basically a dog with rabies. And you just sit and you speak because you be my cartoon. You are the people, eh? If the young people want to rise up, they need to rise up against people like you. What is dysfunctional democracy? Do you know what dysfunctional democracy is? We had a president under Akuffo, 17 petitioners, not only will be address, only will be a ding, only will be a phone number, but he still accepted a vague paper. Jimmy, that wasn't dysfunctional to you? That wasn't dysfunctional to you? We had a president who basically decided not to give a petition to a sitting EC boss. That wasn't dysfunctional. Muhufin in Krasifo Modrun crying. A year that him be crying. A Jimmy for Monumu Kankai, Ottawa, Uhunfi Fresa or Pro. Tell the people the truth. O party call off power in today. What are your NPP ni Amuko position in today? We are looking at the democracy. We are looking at the facts. What does the fact say? I told you as a journalist, and as a Muslim, you will use the facts. The facts are clear. Did the president go against the law? No. Who in Ghana today can tell me John Mahama went against the law? Nobody. Then there's nothing wrong. Let me tell you, what you think about this process is your problem. But the fact still remains. The fact still remains to say the constitution, the rules of the game were applied. That's all. Your opinion is your opinion. How you feel about Ghana is your opinion. But the Ghana na timuno, sa national anthem no, it is Ghana's national anthem. Whether you like the words or not, it does not change the anthem. Until you prove to me, say, the words you are speaking are not the right words. But as we speak today, none of you guys can prove to me, say, John Mahama has gone against the law. Your opinion, you have your right. Eh? Look at this. These people. After your marking, suspension of Chief Justice is the brazen judicial coup. It's your opinion. Yes, a minority say, Chief Justice is suspended. No, it is a coup. Your opinion. It will not change anything. Do they have the facts to say the suspension is illegal? No. So far, the minority, the silly, stupid piglet minority, have not been able to provide any evidence or any fact to show, say, the suspension is not in the right order. It is an opinion. It will not change the facts. So you can scream. You can put out all the threats. Say, nobody fucking cares. Monsesa CEO bia ni judge bia. As far as the law is there, you work within the law. Ekobedu, I don't care. Because there is a reason why we put that law together. That law now, Bawumia, any Akuffo, use abuse, John Mahama has stayed within the law. Because Sankamu said John Mahama boom braba akosoa and kamun kwasiafo in kamabeka. But because you don't have anything, now you are using your opinion to decide what the facts should be. Your opinion cannot decide the facts. The facts are the facts. So how you feel as a minority or how you feel as an NPP or a journalist does not change the fact. The fact is constant. The fact of the case is still constant. Whether the minority shit on themselves, they vomit, they scream, they charge and slaughter themselves. The fact is that the president has followed due process. And the Council of State have come up. They said they have established a prima facie case. The president says that it is in good faith the Chief Justice suspends or step aside for the process to go on. That's all. It does not matter who you are, how you feel, what you think. Why do you know? Saudi say you're politically motivated. That it is your opinion. Me say so US embassy. Na say akope visa. Whatever you say to the person sitting there, you don't decide for the person. The person sitting there or rules or the ejuma. And it's also American embassy so akope visa. People that didn't know who question obusao. Where are you going? I'm going to Dallas. Okay, you are going to where? Texas. Yeah, I'm going to Chicago. Fine. Who are you staying with? Bibi Dadenim. So one man is information now. Your opinion will stick with you. How you feel about the person in the glass and fan home. Whether somebody in a table team so a bruni he does not care. Whether Bakacha said the crew on the president, he does not care. He is sticking to the facts. And they're done anymore. So when Mama answers no here now, he's not going to issue you the visa. It is not about how you feel. Nobody cares about how you people feel. As far as we know, no law has been broken. As far as we know in this country, Emrebia ni ayebuso. Na yenti krom ha. Ena nkwasi afo motiti radio so Akuffo Addo. Gofredame ede eye opuni. Jachikwe sinko jina court say 24 hours ye ba be jachikwe na muti krom ha. Did you say that even though the Attorney General has the right to prosecute Judge question, the rate at which he's moving the case, it is against, mentally, he has some political motive behind it. What can I say? That be, and then clear. Yet, and Ato forcing, Echo Jina Court can say, tekpe, and the man instruction man signed document. Even though the Attorney General has the right to prosecute and investigate and take the whole thing to court to make sure the way the bonnet was actually to know. Attorney General Kojina Court wana yenye who say he is speaking to these people behind the scenes in a judge's house. Did you people have a problem with it? You didn't have any problem, right? It wasn't anything bad. You wanted us to continue with this. How you feel and what you think does not determine how the facts should work. You can have your own opinions. You people can write all the articles on Facebook. You can sit on TV and speak as if say Ghana Ghana democracy be say Ghana democracy and say Ghana bibia be say bibia and say ya de mra na ye adwuma ye ginam. How you feel is how you feel. We don't care how you feel. What I care about is that the president does not go against the constitution. And as far as I know, President John Mahama had not or did not go against the constitution. So what is my problem? What is my problem? Because the problem I want to say president in boom run so president in boom run so into you as a journalist. So when you communicate to a political party be and now you are affiliated to a political party, how the party thinks, does it affect the facts? Oh, no, my imagine that. Oh, you will see the next person is the EC boss. The question here is, has the EC boss committed a crime? If she has not conducted herself well, I will support her to be removed. How you feel does not change the fact. Sibia ya chikronfo amusi yenjeli no. Sibia ya chi atai ye ka se yenjeli no. Sibia ya chi obi obokro no ye ka se yemfa no kokko yenjeli na ye nyina ya ka se yes ye bese chechire man no ye nyi illegal miners in free ho obi obokro no ye nchire no. The same way the Charlotte say e commit crime na we hu boni wo ho a adentina James commit crime a ye twe na so obeka se eni se ye mo bodam. Me say Unless say Mensa commit crime, but so commit crime we will work within the constitution to make sure say constitution the actually say yebeye. Jane Mensa on chain Ghana mrao. Yati Akroma ne tam soldier for a guard Jane Mensa. Me yamam soldier. Wo kwasi ampenya wo to so nsuo yama soldier. There is a reason why your man is soldier. Your man car, your man dying. There is a reason why sika yetua no yentua ubi abuofunu. Na so ho na wa ye adwuma bi na wa anya adwuma ni ye. We are telling us we don't have the right to sack her. Moya moa. Who is above the law in Ghana? If tomorrow somebody establishes a case against J Mensa, the law needs to be applied. It does not matter who you are, how you feel. How you feel is your problem. It is the facts we are looking at. Me say the facts is constant. It does not change. And we are not going to move away from the fact. NPP lawyer we, not on the news file. Miami way, me kebi bi abrocha and come imagine a license because I am very sure say license be ekuta be legitimate. I am very sure because some of her pronouncements, I think say ebi a we gide good it no. He it na woman I na koditrim. Obetna news file. Assembly na Miami we kan or say the Chief Justice should not be taken through this process. Who should be taken through the process? Ti asema obi oso akosua mbra. Mr. P, Mr. S, take care of the pages. Ti asembia obi oso akotena law school. Wosua mbra onim nyansa. Ti asembia oka. The Chief Justice, because Chief Justice said the nufu ye 9. Madam Tokorno the 2 eye 9. Sebio ne 9 kokromoti eye nson. The Chief Justice should not go through this process. It's in our law as theory, but it shouldn't be practiced. When you're a lawyer, or say, Chief Justice, and this year in the first idea we move, Ghana running the woman say, Bibi Saba, or say, Nemum, I Chief Justice in tea, and this say, do Juma, way, or say, Chilico, second year, Jan Hunina, now corruption, neba, Bibi and the Batia. So your bam pa. In theory, or say, in theory, the law is supposed to be applied, but practically, it is our law. Or say, Yamre Munide, a woman say Chief Justice Dibonia, or say a shishim, name and this says Sebio ye 2-1 among where your lawyer. I say the Chief Justice should not be taken through this process. It's in our law as theory, but it shouldn't be practiced. Inti obeso chere say Sam Rana da hode de e da hokeke, but meme ye 2-1 among adentra Chief Justice de enisi ade ne fam na me papa Kwame Ando nana Aida Nando ono ne mfa ne fam wo ya boa me mama Ekua Monica ono ne ntam ne mfa ne mfa mram na kwasi ampanyi wo de mra diwa ye mfa mra ne ye nyen say theory inti some of the laws should apply as theory and some should apply as practical. Mon kwasiafo na mutiti TV so yedi matama ye se yedi penyina tem san kwasiafo na kosuan kwasia law bi ye kasi ye scrutinize o ma no mu dwane no ma kwahye penyina echi washa wegi said the opepa eye Mozambique nkoto ho abetena TV so keka nkwasi asem say the Chief Justice should not go through this. O wegi say raccoon. O wegi say raccoon mame. Chief Justice should not go through. Who should go through? Why? Is the Chief Justice above the law? So you want us to sit in Ghana, not Chief Justice in Tinaho. With all due respect, Chief Justice Bimra, na on Kenny Pakon, na on poison obi, na on disika, Nyanka so it is in our law. Theoretically, in theory, but practically, we cannot apply the law. Adentra or a Chief Justice, more bodam. We are not going to be selective about the law. We said the people to home Mozambique. Some question for TV so that I'm Ghana ho because we are so weak-minded. Obiaba no kuta title. Obiaba kuta title. When we are yes sokodia, o be track kan kwasa sama soro ko adentia me NPP ni ma me defend adia eye bone. Now NPP ni ayakwasa. O NPP ni ayakwasa. Into wo wote join news wo eye program. Na obi wura ka say wo ya kromfo. Obeji atum so ya kromfo. Ote join news one we program no obi abo ewuro say mama we jantre nipa wo kofo obi kunu na obetena sa am that also. You want the law to work because I'm a lawyer, I know the law and the law has to work. Now they do Chief Justice so I say we should be very selective about the law. Oh bodam. O we said obepan ko to ho Mozambique. Modwin say ye Jimmy ye hu mo so lawyers da. Kwasi abrofo bia akeka kama pantan mu e na mokeka e na ye Jimmy nti ye obia o Ghana o ye lawyer. A fool like Samson Ayenini, ne num kan. Ne wo fin. O free sremu ba e na ne yire de obi nchen ba 2 years Samson Ayenini. Enya Ghana ne ye Jimmy a Eden na Jimmy say Samson Ayenini Saturday betena TV so ebo bonanim toto busa questions. No be journalist of the year. Ye kwasi afo. Ghana Journalist Association President Rowe ne fu se nanka we hu de omde ye media general for na sa Ghana Journalist Association akwana ne fu se de onom nsama Guinness for Mozambique no mumu say the press conference no nya na kwasiafo na mde didi nkofo ni mo Ghana ye kan bani ma jibiji for we me say GJ President Rowe kwasiato sa no Sifrika ma na ebie ne pono enkwasiasam nkwana wo de tikuro nim ye kan bani ma na mbu ofu he gan kwasiasam. Look at this. No, this is not even what I'm looking for. Mrs. I don't even want to go there.
Okay, abusuan we ne ensema ekoso. Ewo aye political highway ne so Chief Justice Tokorno NHS John Dramani Mahama ababe tutubi ede amane minority in Parliament. Kevin Taylor and so ababe ye omo adwuma. Ebramase samoje pene kokoti sa audio we ede MI aha POG Media so. Ebramase